She was one of the very first consultants to sign up in the state of Texas. She is consultant number 128. Woo! That's the way you do it. Okay. She says that since he saved her brain from going to mush, we've all been there, because all she did was sit at home and watch Barney and Sesame Street all day long with her 3 young children. I love you. You love me. So Cincy literally changed her life. She is educated. She'd gone to college to become a, can you tell I had it right this year? A professor?
Yeah.
She's a smart kid. And but whenever she found Cincy actually showed her that she could run a successful and life-enriching business on her own terms and still be there with her family to sing, I love you, you love me. All right, so everybody give it up for Miss Julia Baldwin.
Hi, everybody. This is like the worst room to do a breakout session in because it's huge. So if you are on the outer edges, I would love it if you came a little bit closer. And our topic is networking. And you really can't network if you are away from people. You gotta have people to network. So if you want to scooch in, that would be great. I have a lot to cover with you today, so and you're kind of the guinea pig group, so I apologize if things don't go as planned, but I'm kind of a wing it sort of girl. So hopefully what I talk to you about today will be something that you can use in your businesses to help them grow. And I'm a big networker. And, oh, I forgot the little clicker. I gotta have this so I can get going. Okay, what do I point it at to click? Oh, am I going too far now? Yes. Uh-oh. Okay. There we go.
I think you can you sit right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, my eyes aren't that good anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to go like right up on. Thank you. So, what is networking? First of all, how many people consider yourselves a networker?
Me.
Okay. So, probably less than half of you raised your hands. And I hope by the end of this you'll feel like you're all networkers. And if you're not, that you need to be. So networking is all about making connections. It's building relationships. That's the key. Network is not about selling. It's not going into a group and saying, hey, who wants to buy from me today? It's finding people in that group that you can build a relationship with and have a mutually beneficial relationship to help each other grow your respective business. It's finding strategic partners that can help you and you can help them. And it's expanding your sphere of influence. We've talked about that in Scentsy of, kind of your circle of influence, who you know. A lot who say, oh, I live in a small town, or I don't really have very many friends, or my kids are all small and they're not in school yet, so I don't know anyone. You've got to expand your circle of influence, and networking is one way that you can do that. As I mentioned before, it's not all about selling, and it's not about self-promotion. So those are just some things to keep in mind. You want to be the first person somebody thinks of when somebody gets asked, hey, I need a Scentsy consultant. Have you heard of Grace Adele? I'm trying to find a Grace Adele consultant. You want that person, whoever's asked that question, to immediately think of you and give out your information. So why do you want to network? I've kind of covered some of these. It's establishing business contacts. It's getting you plugged into your community, which is really important if you're moving to a new area. If you are in one of those transition phases where you're starting something new, it gets you established. You can facilitate win-win relationships, create a referral network, which is really, really important. And one of the things that I've found, as I have networked the last probably 4 years, is that a lot of people will call me and say, hey, I need to have my floors redone. Do you know somebody who's a good floor business? Or I need a plumber. I've kind of become that person that people call because they know I'm out in the community and I'm meeting people that do those different things. A couple of examples. We're going to talk about different kinds of networking groups, but one of the groups I go to, I've met people varied walks of life and different businesses. And I met a guy, his name's Jonah. He has a building remodeling business, and he'd never bought from me. Never seemed interested in buying anything. Was always very pleasant. We chatted, got to know each other a little bit, and then he stopped going to this group, and I didn't see him for a while. In fact, I still haven't seen him, but he called me in December, early December. I wish he would have called me earlier, because I would have had more time to do stuff. But he calls me first week of December and says, I decided I want to send a little gift to all of my customers from the past year. And I thought of you. What can you help me with? He gave me his budget, and we scrambled to figure out how we could get them to me and then to his customers. But it was developing that relationship. And he said, hey, I think this would be a good idea. Every time I finish a job, if I could just call you and you'd have something ready that I could give to that customer as a thank you. That's one of those relationships that came about because of networking. Another lady is a real estate agent that I met. Whenever she has a closing, she'll call me and say, hey, I've got a closing, can you bring me a neutral style warmer and a welcome home bar? Okay, so types of networking groups. I've kind of broken it down into, well, there's 4 groups, 3 of them are listed on here. A casual group, I'm calling those that are not industry exclusive. And you could have 5 Scentsy consultants in the same group. They meet monthly, they have mixers. Some examples might be the Chamber of Commerce, business card exchanges. Those are kind of casual. Another type is called a contact group. They usually meet weekly. Often they're industry exclusive once you become a member. That means whatever their criteria is. For example, I go to one group who, to become a member, you have to attend 7 meetings, you have to bring 7 guests, and you have to have 7 one-on-ones with people in the group. Once you've done that, you become a member, and no other Scentsy consultant can come in that group unless I say it's okay. So it gives you kind of exclusive rights to the people in that group. Some examples are BNI groups, NetWeavers. There's lots of different groups like that out there. There are community service groups where you can network. The Kiwanis, the Exchange Clubs, Rotary Club. Those are groups where networking isn't the focus, it's doing community service, but as a result of that, you're meeting other business owners. You get to know them, you share what you do, you build relationships, and down the line, that's going to result in business for you. And my 4th group that's not on there, I call it informal groups. And this is really where all of us should be networking. It's if you go to a bunco, if you belong to a bunco group, if you're in a book group, if you're in the PTA, if your child is in Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, you have the opportunity for informal networking at those types of events. But again, remember back to the first slide where networking is not about self-promoting and selling. It's getting to know those people and figuring out how you can help each other. So the results of networking, I love these because they're all good results. You get more customers, more hosts, more recruits. I know more people. My circle of influence is greatly expanded from what it was before I started networking. More people know me, and I have the opportunity to collaborate with a lot of different businesses. I have a cabbing colleague, which is it's a clothing line, Party Plan company. It's all clothes, no accessories, no handbags. Grace Adele works perfectly with that. So we will collaborate and do things together. Travel agents who like to have meet and greets with their potential customers, they love to have wine and chocolate. Velada fits in perfectly with that. So you can build some different collaborations there. Just a couple quick stories of how networking has worked for me recently. Just last week I had a random order of about $150 on my website. We all love those, right? When you log in, you're like, who's this person? I don't know who this is. And just this last Thursday, I was at one of my regular networking meetings, and this guy came up to me and he said, I won your giveaway a few weeks ago. I always give something away for a door prize. A travel tin, a scent circle, and about quarterly I'll give a plug-in in a bar. And it's usually around a holiday. And I am like the favorite person in the group on those days because they're like a really good prize. But he had won like a travel tin, took it home to his wife. They'd never heard of Scentsy. They had recently moved here from England, so I'm thinking future contacts in England. And they were burning candles all over the house. He said, I'm changing my air conditioner filters every 2 weeks. But my wife saw your catalog that you put in a little giveaway bag, and she went on your website and she placed a big order. And he said, now we have those warmers all over our house, and it's great because I don't have to change the air filters. So that was a result of networking. I also have a great customer who I met through a networking group. He owns a quick car auto repair. And every week he thanks me that his shop does not smell like tires and dyes. And every week he thanks me. And as a result of that, 2 weeks ago, a guy who has a photography studio came up to me after and he said, I think I need you to come over to my photography studio because it kind of smells like printers and photography equipment, and we share a wall with a tire store. I don't want my studio to smell like tires. So I went over there, and I'm thinking he's just going to want a warmer in the front and a warmer in the back. He wanted a warmer in every single room, 7 rooms in a studio. I'm like, great. So that was another happy story from networking. So when you go to these groups, they usually have the same format. You're all in a room, a lot of times it's over lunch or breakfast. They give everybody 30 seconds to stand up, introduce yourself, tell what you do. And the point of that, it's not to stand up and say, hey, I have this great product for sale. It's to stand up and say something that's going to make those people remember you and want to have further interaction with you. In networking, we call them one-on-ones. So you want somebody to come up to you after and say, hey, we need to meet because I think there's some things we could do together. So you have to have a 30-second commercial. So the rest of the time that we have today, we're going to talk about 30-second commercials, and I'm going to help you figure out how to create your own 30-second commercial. Gail McDonald gave some great tips on 30-second commercials. She said you need a sharp, clear, compelling response to make people want to know more about you and your business. Make the first seconds count by putting the benefits up front. Don't take too long to get to the point. 30 seconds goes really fast. And one group that I'm in, they actually have a timer because it's a large group. And if that timer goes off and you're mid-story, you have to just state your name and sit down. And you're done. And maybe you only stammered through, this introduction that nobody really even understood what you did. So it really has to be concise and to the point. You want to paint a picture of what it's like if people used your services. Women call me when they want to start a home-based business to earn additional income and eventually leave their 9-to-5 job. If somebody said that to you, you'd kind of want to know more. How? I have a 9-to-5 job I hate. What does she know that might help me get rid of that job? Facts tell, but stories sell. I will often tell a story of ways I've been able to help a customer. One guy who was also a real estate agent, he came to me one day and he said, I have a vacant home I can't sell. And I think it's because it smells kind of vacant and musty. He goes, what should I do? And he said, I'm not there all the time, so I don't want to leave it on all the time. And I said, no problem. I said, we'll get you a warmer, some nice inviting scents, and a timer from your home improvement store that you set for the hours that you're normally showing people through that house. So he got a timer, had it set from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., changed the wax once a week, and I think it took about 10 days in the household. And he was so excited, and of course I like to take all the credit. It's like, it sold because it smelled better. And he actually came to the meeting and he said, I learned that a house that smells better sells better. And I said, oh, thank you for that tagline. I said, that was awesome. So, but when I go to a different group, I can use that story. As I introduce myself, I can tell them about this problem, and any other real estate agent in the room, or anyone else that deals with, a landlord, a leasing agent at an apartment complex, they're all going to relate to that. So you'll want to kind of have this arsenal of different stories that you can tell based on your audience. Something else you might be able to say is, I just recently helped a team member create a plan that allowed her to take her entire family on a trip to Disneyland through selling, and then you tell what the product is. You're telling a story and you're painting a picture that somebody will relate to. Okay, so here are some examples of a 30-second commercial. In my spare time, I love HGTV. I'm not creative, and these people are, so I like stealing ideas from them. So on one of the episodes of Design Star, they actually had a 30-second challenge where they had to come up with a commercial. So it's not Scentsy specific, but it will give you the idea of some of the things, pay attention to some of the things you think they do right and some of the things they do wrong. And if we could start the little video.
You'll have a maximum of 30 seconds. I'm going to be timing you. Over here, as you can see, we have all sorts of accessories, and you're welcome to choose one of these to express your design point of view, but you don't have to.
I'll have show and tell all the time.
Hi, my name is David Bromson, and I transform tired rooms into vibrant spaces using eye-catching color, and I sign it with an original art piece. Easy enough, right? I'm not sure it's going to be that easy. Carl, how about up? Lucky number one. Just take a second. Action. Hi, I'm Carl Svanholt. What separates me from every other designer is my love of history and things in art and architecture of the past. And my goal is to draw a line from the past and fuse it together with things in the present to create something really great for you and your home in the future. Time's up. Wow, you finished. 30 seconds? All right. I got a little bit. Now, you have a lot going on there. I need to hear something a little bit more concise. And remember, the camera tones your personality down, so bring it up a notch. Alright, you have no second chance to make a first impression, and I just blew it. Doug. Action. It's my belief that you have 3 seconds to impress somebody when they walk into a room. So if you don't say wow in 3 seconds, you fail. I'm going to teach you how you can have design in the palm of your hand. I think Doug did a really good job. It was practice. Action. What I'm going to do is go into your space and then put a little fresh spin on it. Maybe a little bit of industrial rock and roll.
You should love the way a space makes you feel, not just the way it looks.
I'm all about kitchen shape. Definitely the unexpected and maybe even a pop of color.
I'm going to go in your home and I'm going to find design crimes. What have you done that is illegal in the design world?
Right when you said design crimes, you're me. Leslie, come on down.
It has to be done in 30 seconds. Alright, I think I'm in a pretty good one for. Okay.
Get warmed up.
I can't do 30 seconds. Hi, I'm designer Leslie Azell. I'm a mother of 4, and I have been through my own fair share of stress. I am here to help you gain control of your domain. If you live in a space that is peaceful and represents you, you will have a healthier life.
Time.
So, that was hard.
Last but not least, Kathy.
The camera challenge. I got this. Hi, I'm Kathy Hobbs, and I love traveling the world in search of great design. Whether or not it's a beautiful textile in the middle of a bazaar in Cairo, the color of sunrise in the middle of the Serengeti, I hope to take you on my passport to design and bring that to HGTV.
You seem like you've done this before.
So, who was your favorite?
Second guy. Second one, with the chair.
The design crimes, she caught your attention, right? Because she had something catchy that related to what she did. The guy with the chair,
He was the second guy.
in the palm of your design in the palm of your hand. Yeah, he was kind of straightforward.
It took 30 seconds to tell you you needed 3.
Yes, 30 seconds, and he said you got.
But he said 3 seconds a whole bunch of times, so he didn't catch your attention. in the first 3 seconds.
Gotcha.
So if you only have 3 seconds to impress them when they come in your house, you only have 3 to 6 seconds to catch them when you first talk to them.
Which
So the
se-
first 6 to 10 seconds of your 30 seconds has to grab them.
Right, the
Or
beginning
the rest
needs
is a
to
waste.
grab your attention, or they're going to start looking at their phone and see who's texted them, or start doing something else. The last lady was very polished, wasn't she?
Yes.
I cut the recording before she explained that this was her second career. Her first career was in broadcasting. She was a newscaster and had won like 4 Emmys. So she sort of was a shoo-in to win that challenge. The one guy said, gee, it was like he practiced. And that's one of the keys, that you have to practice. A lot of times when I drive to my networking events, I sit in the car and I repeat over and over again what I think I want to say that day. And sometimes it will depend on the time of year. If we have, if there's a holiday, if there's a great sale, if it's Father's Day, I tend to focus things around fathers. If it's around the holidays, #1 season for house fires that are caused by candles. So that's kind of my safety month. Starting November, December, I talk all about fire safety and candles safety. But I practice in the car. And I'll use my phone. Most of your smartphones will have like a voice recorder. I'll record what I think I want to say, and then I'll play it back and it'll time it to see if it's 30 seconds. And it really helps if you practice. And when you stand up, you can feel more polished and not, because if you're stammering and that 30 seconds is clicking away, before you know it, the time's up and you haven't really got to say what you wanted to say. So when you create your commercial, you want to think about these things. Who are you? What need do you meet? What problem do you solve? And what's your tagline? And we're going to kind of help each other create a list of things answering these questions so that when you create your 30-second commercial, it'll be a piece of cake. So everybody should have a handout. If you didn't get one, Andy has some more.
Raise your hand. Well, where were you?
So the goal here is to make yourself stand out. So I'll give you some examples of some 30-second commercials that I have used. This one is showing that I can be a problem solver. And I haven't used it in a while, so I don't have it memorized anymore, so I'm going to kind of read it. Hi, my name is Julia Baldwin. I am your source for Scentsy. Scentsy offers you a safe way to scent your world with no flame, no soot, and no match. If you have a closet that's kind of musty, a car that's kind of smelly, a room that needs freshening, an odor that needs masking, or a mood that needs elevating, safely and legally, I might add, contact me, Julia Baldwin. I help you practice safe scents. So, and that's my favorite tagline. And the new people, it's funny because you can tell when I'm in a group that they've never been to the meeting before, because it always gets a little chuckle if they haven't heard that. And I've had many people that, what did you just say? You know, and I have to repeat it, which is good, because then they're intrigued. As I mentioned before, I give stuff away. And just last week, I was at a networking meeting, and I had a travel tin. And usually, the giveaways, the meetings that I go to at the end, they have a little time where they do door prize drawings. And so that's when I usually do my giveaway. But I had this extra travel tin, and I thought, how can I use this in my commercial? So I stood up, and usually I start out with my name, but this time I stood up and I said, whose car in here smells funny? And they all kind of sat there for a few seconds. Nobody wanted to admit it. And then one brave lady raised her hand. And I walked over to her and I said, here you go, this will solve your problem. And everybody else in the room went, oh. And they're like, my car smelled too, but I didn't want to say. I said, well, you'll learn next time I ask a question, you'll want to answer. So I gave her the travel tin, and then I said, hi, my name is Julia Baldwin, and if you have any place that smells, from a closet to a car to your whole house, I can help make that smell better safely, something like that. So that's an example of being a problem solver. And if you want to take a picture of it, you can.
You got about 10, 15 minutes.
10, 15 minutes, okay. You might paint a picture. Do people crinkle their noses when they walk in your home? Do they smell your beloved dog Fido? Maybe your 3 cats? How about that fish you cooked for dinner yesterday? Does your office smell like industrial strength cleaner? Your car smell like month-old French fries? Your kids' room smell like those socks that have been hiding under their bed for a year? Well, you definitely need me. I can help you improve your sense appeal with Scentsy wickless products. So remember, Julia Baldwin, I'm your Scentsy lady, and I want you to get your nose in my business. Painting a picture. All right, let's see the next one here. Safety. Do you know someone who's gone to sleep and forgot to blow out a candle? Or gone to work and left a candle burning? Did you know that there are over 15,000 fires a year caused by an unattended candle? Don't let a loved one become a statistic and have a candle burning. Introduce them to Scentsy, a safer alternative to a burning candle. I'd love to have a one-on-one with you to share how Scentsy might save you or someone you love from becoming a candle fire statistics. I'm Julia Baldwin, helping you practice safe scents. So, focus on safety. All right. So there's that one. So, what is your specialty? What need do you meet? And what problem do you solve? So Andy's going to write some things down. I have some examples on the other pages. But if we can brainstorm and help each other create these, answer these questions, you guys are going to have the best 30-second commercials ever. So, shout out to me, what need do you meet? And it could be Scentsy, Bellotta, Grace Adele.
Scentsy.
What need? Make your world smell better. Okay?
Are you talking about like what we need to scent for?
What need do you meet in the world?
Safer dryer.
Safer
Dryer.
dryer.
That's a big fire hazard in the home.
No, and that's a great educational opportunity. She said that our dryer discs are safer than fabric sheets. That's an opportunity to educate in your meetings as well. The fact that our products are all UL rated. I use that one a lot because I had an electrician in a networking group say, Scentsy's not safe, you could burn your house down because it's not rated by the UL laboratories. I said, oh, he said it is. And what I got to explain to him was what you buy at other places that is a knockoff product is not a Scentsy. But Scentsy, what's so cool is Scentsy's such a household name, it's kind of like tissue and Kleenex.
Coke.
You know, yeah.
Coke.
Give me a Kleenex, you really want a tissue, but you're asking for the brand. Scentsy has become the Kleenex. You know, people will say, well, I got a Scentsy, and it's not UL rated. And I said, well, you don't have a Scentsy, you have a knockoff. So it gives you a chance to educate. So anyway, I kind of digressed there a little bit, but. So, safer dryers. I'll give you a few. You help people safely scent their world. Here's a Grace Adele. You help women enter the room and own it. Here's another Grace Adele. You help women walk the fine line between trendy and classic, polished and effortless, stunning and approachable. That one would take a while for me to memorize. There's a lot of big words in there. Yes?
I give my niece scent packs for her gym bag.
Okay, so giving and
Wonderful for your gym bag.
yes.
Kids and athletics.
So that's another opportunity. You help any space smell better, large or small.
I use the scent packs in my car because I have 5 kids and it always smells like sour milk.
Yes. So what problem do you solve? Here's another question you want to answer. Any ideas come to mind about what problem you solve? How about for Bellotta? What problem does Bellotta solve?
Hunger.
What should we eat? How can I get my kids involved in dinner time? What's for dessert? What do I feed the Girl Scouts? How do I get my kids to eat more fruit? How can we have fun at mealtimes? Those are all problems you can solve with Bellotta and that you need to tell people about. Not just, I sell this cool fondue warmer. You know, that's not as effective as why would somebody need that? Somebody in that group who is struggling, trying to get their family to come together, would go, that's what I need. Yes?
One of the problems I feel like we can solve with any of them is when you get somebody a gift that has everything, like Mother's Day or whatever, if you get them either a lawn warmer or a Scentless warmer, you can then next time get them bars that they're going to use or chocolate.
Absolutely.
So it's a great way to cover all the holidays with something they're going to continue to use up, and then you don't know what to figure out what to get them, and you're not giving them stuff they are just trying to.
Right. What she said, for those who couldn't hear, is you provide a great gift for the person that has everything. And it allows you to have future gifts. If you give them a warmer, the next time you have to give them something, you give them more bars. So it's great for that. Grace Adele solves the problem of how do you accessorize? And of course, Scentsy solves the problem of how do I mask smelly smells? So those are some of the specialties, and we've added a few new ones, I think. Okay, so my favorite part of creating your 30-second commercial is, what's your tagline? And we'll go through these really fast. We can go back one? Okay. So, you have to come up with your tagline. And I'll go through these, and if you have new ones, please let me know, because I'm trying to create this huge list. My favorite one, I help people practice safe scents. Our scents bring back memories. I have a party, we'll travel. My warmers aren't on fire, but I am. Every time I go to work, I end up at a party. Practice safe scents with me. It's fun making dollars with scents. Stick your nose into my business. You'll be glad you did. I help you increase your sense appeal. That one works great, January, February, when it's getting around Valentine's Day and you're talking about gift ideas and keeping the men out of the doghouse. I can increase your sense appeal. I can improve your sense life. No flame, no soot, and no match. With our new layers line, you can elevate the laundry from a chore to an experience. Okay, those are some for Scentsy. Anybody have any other Scentsy ones that you like?
Put your wick back in your drawers.
Get paid to party. Did I hear another one?
Put your wick back in your drawers.
I can't say that one.
What did she say? Put your what?
All right, so the one I use at my networking hoo-ha thing that I go to on Mondays, I swear somebody spit tea out their mouth when I said it. But it's old, it's been around. I want you to put your wick back in your drawers.
That would be really stepping outside my comfort zone. The practice safe sense.
Especially in a group of women.
Okay, so Velada. Here's some examples for Velada. Just imagine the dipabilities. Making mealtime into memories. Serve up memories with Velada. There's kind of a theme there. Simple, stylish, and soulful Velada products turn minutes into precious moments. Helping people come together through delicious food. And my favorite, because everything's better dipped in chocolate.
True.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Wrap
Okay.
it up.
I'm hurrying. Okay. Grace Adele. Pull yourself together with Grace Adele. Create your perfect look with Grace Adele. Grace Adele's style system makes fashion work for you. Define your style with Grace Adele. The possibilities are effortless with Grace Adele. One example with Grace Adele, I went to a meeting one time. I have this leopard shirt that I really like. Or it's not leopard, it's cheetah. And at the time, I had the red Carly handbag with the zebra clutch. I got all ready.